thank you to Team Toledo, all of our fans for being here today, supporting us. Thank you to Pat for choosing Toledo. We knew it was going to be a fight, defensive battle. Our start really put us behind the 8 ball, and then we got sped up late and missed some shots that we normally make at the rim. I was proud of our adjustments in the second half. I thought our players fought to the end, and I'm incredibly proud of this team, and I'm incredibly proud to be their coach.
Question for student athletes, front right.
Mark McCoviak, WXCT. Congrats on an amazing run this tournament, guys. By winning 2 games in the first and second round as technically underdogs, and today playing Miami as well as you did, what did you guys prove about this team?
I think it just showed how much we really care for each other and want it for each other and how tough we are. I think we're a really gritty group, and I'm just very proud of each other. I think we really came together.
Yeah, you want to add to that?
Yeah, it just shows our resilience through the adversity that we face this whole year with injuries and everything. So I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud to be a Rocket.
Back left.
Emma Fire, Toledo Blade. Ella, just from a player's perspective, just talk through that second half. Just after that first half, probably not what you guys were looking to do there, but just what was the main adjustment you guys made in that second half, and just the energy you guys came out with to cut their lead to 6 late?
Yeah, they're a good team, especially defensively. They put a lot of pressure on us on the ball, and I think at halftime we just had to regroup, reframe things. It was 12-point deficit at half, and we just kept echoing that we've come back from bigger, so we were fine.
Front left.
Pat, a great year, incredible tournament. Obviously, you left it all out there. Just for the human face of all this, what's kind of going through your head as you walk off the floor for the final time, kind of collapse into Ginny's arms? I know just mental exhaustion, physical exhaustion, just everything.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I told Coach G in the portal, P4 schools were hitting me up, and I could have went anywhere. I told her I want to win the championship. I just feel like I failed.
You did not
I
fail.
failed everybody. But if you ask me if I could do it again in the recruiting process and pick somewhere else to go, I'd still choose Toledo over and over again. I love my teammates.
Does anyone have a tissue?
I love them so much. I love my coaching staff. I'm just gonna miss them, and I think it's just, I'm the only senior leaving, so I think that's just what was going through my head. I'm gonna miss them so much.
Far back left.
Yeah, I've gone to BCSN. Even when you guys are going through injuries, Coach Bogus said her expectations never changed. What does it mean to have a leader that, even when you guys are going through the toughest of times, had unwavering faith in you guys to do what you guys did this season?
I think it means a lot. I think a lot of this sport is about confidence, and she kept echoing that each one of you is here at Toledo for a reason. So I think just having that confidence from coaches and teammates that each one of us is built for this and is capable and should be competing at this level, I think that was huge.
Front left.
That was talking to you sports LA, you guys just 2 turnovers in the second half. How much of an emphasis was there on ball control? How did that allow you guys to kind of compete and get within 5 late?
It was definitely a big emphasis at halftime. We had just under 15, I think, way too many for a half. Like I said, their ball pressure was very good. Credit where it's due. But I think, cleaning those turnovers up in the second half made a big difference. Just too many in the first half, maybe. I don't know.
You guys are down really. You fought back a little bit. You kind of grabbed the lead. You got it up pretty good. But what what kept you guys fighting as players?
I mean, it's not over till the clock hits 0, so I think that's what's kept us fighting. We've been in bigger holes before in games, so we have faith that we could come back within the game. So I think that's what kept us fighting.
I don't want to speak for my teammates, but I'm sure they felt the same way as me, but we wanted it for Pat. Like she said, like she felt that she left us down. She did the opposite. I think some of us feel like we wanted it for her.
Questions for student athletes? Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Questions? Coach Vargas?
Job, baby. Job,
Right.
Lee.
What kind of impact has Pat made on your life, both maybe on the court and off the court?
I was just about to get it together. Now, I mean, this era, rev share and portal and all the things, like we made a commitment, our leadership, to invest in women's basketball while trying to keep the integrity of the experience, the student athlete experience. And I think that experience at Toledo, because of our leadership, because of the fans, because of our community, is one of the best experiences in the country. And I offered that to Pat, and she took it. So, you know, it's just what you want to make sure in a hiring process or in a recruiting process is that both parties are who they say they are. And Pat and I knew each other. She knew how I coached, that we were going to help develop her as an individual player and as a champion collectively in our group and where she would fit in. And I knew that she was one of the hardest workers in the country. And you know, I think when you get what you're asking for, it's really easy just to get to work. And, you know, I told her, I said, don't come and take all our shots and take all our money and, you know, half kidding, half serious and just leave Toledo. I want you to leave Toledo better than you found it. And she certainly did. And that's me and our staff included.
You guys really entered this tournament down a few guards because of injuries.
Yeah.
You know, the way the team battled in the second half, the way they battled the whole tournament. What's it say about you as a whole?
No, I mean, I think they're tough. They're together. You know, we were hoping to get one more body back, and, you know, their safety is always going to be our number one priority, obviously. But, I mean, Faith Fed Robinson 24 hours ago was in surgery, and she fought tooth and nail to be here today. She was like, I'm coming. And if you know Faith, you know how stubborn she is. So the doctors found a way to make it happen. But it's just an incredibly tight group. And, you know, we talk a lot as a staff about winning the locker room first and making sure that there's a lot of love in that room. And then you can build anything if you have that foundation of trust and mutual respect. And although we have an incredibly diverse group, we're very like-minded. Our core is the same. Our competitiveness is the same. And, yeah, I'm just really proud of the product that we get to put out there. I'm really proud of our staff and the player development. You know, every single kid on our roster got better this year, considerably better. We chose to double down on those sophomores, Faith. You know, Destiny Robinson, we lost her early. Eva Cole brought in Miriam Diallo, and we thought Pat would be that missing link of leadership around them, and she certainly was.
Ginny, you talked about winning the locker room first. Along those same lines, we certainly saw it this weekend. But how much of the battle is just building a culture that gets your team to play this hard?
Yeah.
And then, like, from there, it's just like, okay, that's most of it. Now let's get out there.
It was eerily similar to year 2 at Monmouth. You know, a lot of really close losses, a lower seed potential. I think we were 500 in the league that second year at Monmouth as well, our first year in a new league. And, you know, we came into the tournament feeling like we were close enough to figure out things, and the margins were so small. And that year felt a lot like a knife fight every day. Just, you know, it's almost, you know, my friends that are parents, you know, talk about just the diligence of culture, you know, with your little guys. And then, you know, all of a sudden it's Christmas. And they're starting to get it. And then all of a sudden it's February, and you take a step back. And then all of a sudden it's March, and it's go time, and they felt the urgency. But the culture, you know, there are times when it does. It feels like a little bit of a grudge match, not because they're bad kids, but because there are so many habits to unlearn from their previous institutions, or different habits, necessarily bad habits, but different things. And so, you know, I believe in our staff, and I believe in how we do it. And, you know, I think, getting back to this moment is a reflection of the people that we chose and the way that we chose to build it. I wish we had been full strength. I really do.
Front middle.
Dan on WTT. Coach, firstly, great season. Secondly, with how you probably had the toughest road to get you determined knocking off the 3 and the 2 seed and then fighting Miami tooth and nail to the end. And with a bunch of returning members coming back, what sort of message does this send the MAC next year for the Toledo Rockets?
We've just got to keep worrying about us. If I get my eyes on what's this team doing or that team doing or what's happening over there, I think we're positioned we have 2 empty spots. We have 2 empty scholarships. We're with Pat leaving and then 1 empty. I think we're positioned to be really competitive in the portal, and we'll certainly do that. But we're going to worry about us, and the rest of the league continues to get better. I think there were a lot of viable teams here that legitimately could have won this championship. But it's kind of head down, eyes down. We're going to worry about us. We're going to get the best players we can get that fit us, and the best young ladies that fit our family, and go from there. But I think you're seeing in Miami. What were they? 12-6 in the league last year, or 14? What were they? How many did we play? 6 losses in the league, and then everybody comes back from Miami. They add 1 in the portal, and then boom. So hopefully, it'd be great if we could do that too.
Back left.
Coach, yesterday you mentioned that it doesn't get talked about enough how the coaches don't want to let the players down. It's clear you didn't do that, but even through the tough times, how did this team, the culture that you spoke to, the people that you spoke to, make you a better coach at the end of the day?
I think in every way. They're little mirrors, these young people, and they'll teach you a lot about yourself if you'll let them. The things that frustrate you probably are the things that frustrate me about myself. And so the grace, leaning into my faith, learned a lot this year. I also learned that I have an incredible coaching staff and support staff around me that is willing and able to step in and step up and do anything. With all of them have a history of winning. So I learned to trust them, to delegate, to let them develop, to let them lead. I have great leadership, and there are certain things that only the head coach can do, and I have to let some things go. And so I leaned into that this year more than I ever have. But I think it just reiterated what I've always believed, which is that they become what you see in them. And I've never seen anything but champions in this group, even if we're a few down. And they fought to the death on that.
Right middle.
You guys, you've made it now to 2 championship games now.
Ofer.
You've had a lot of championship games, and now you've been to 2 games. What does that mean to you? Do you think the community support, the support you have from the team is great?
Mhm.
What does that mean to you leading to this championship game 2 years now?
Yeah.
And the team that you're fighting tooth and nail?
It makes me hungrier. It makes me grateful. But it makes me more excited to get back to work and to bring home a championship for this community, because they deserve it, certainly. And again, I also need to get better. We got to keep growing. What is this, year 5 of this deal? So hopefully I'll continue to grow and get better. I have a growth mindset. We'll continue to recruit really high-level kids and high-level people. And I think it just says that there's opportunity. I'm grateful. We made it to 3 championships at Marquette, so I have that experience. And obviously at Monmouth, and then now here. So we'll just keep working, keep getting better.
I got time for a couple more. Left middle.
I am sorry I cannot get it together, y'all.
What was the most frustrating part of that first half? And you talked about the second half resiliency. How is it something you can build on with all these players presumably returning?
God, we just dribbled. We just kept dribbling, and that was their pressure. Credit to their defensive pressure. But it's a 10-point game, and we lost the first quarter by 10. We played them even the rest of the way. So I thought, again, our adjustments, by our staff and our players were very solid. We just dug a little bit of a hole, but no, it was ball down, head down, and they were double gapping. Again, we had a couple non-shooters out there, and that's certainly something that we'll address in the portal, where they were able to clog the paint and plug. And then, Pat and KC are not tall. So their size physically made us unable to enter the ball into the post. And then we got frustrated and got a little stagnant. And so, if I would do anything different, maybe go try to get to a gym somewhere and walk through what we actually needed to do offensively. I thought we defensively, the couple threes, we knew 21 was a shooter. Lizzie Puat came in and had her first minutes in the tournament, really true minutes, and so a little unfair to put her in that position. But I think we'll just keep working on our offense, keep getting 5 willing and able scorers out there. It's really important.
My last two. Middle and then right. Yep.
Do you expect all the players who had season-ending injuries to kind of ready for next year?
We're hopeful, but again, their careers and their long-term health will be the number one priority. We're not going to rush anybody back and spend a year on 2 months or anything like that. Certainly, Destiny Robinson is on pace. Evelise Cole is on pace. Who else is out? Alexa Hosevar, we really could have used her toughness today. She's in that boot. That's a stress reaction injury, and so she should be back in 2 months. And we'll go down the line.
And then, I know it's hard going forward, but what do you think are the biggest needs to health is the biggest one, obviously, but what do you think is the biggest issues in the transfer portal to address?
Leadership. Yeah, we need Pat led by example. And we certainly are going to do some skill building in that area over the summer. Like any other skill, I think, something that needs to be built and learned. Leadership is hard. But I think the closeness that we found toward the end of the year will help elevate, some of our natural leaders into that position. I think Destiny Robinson has learned a lot being out, and every now and then we'll just catch eyes and she's like, I see it. I see what you're saying. So I think that will be really helpful. But we'll just keep growing. But leadership, another ball handling guard that can shoot the 3, and then the best all around player we can get.
Last question, front right.
We know how amazing Pat and Ella were all tonight. Was there anyone else you realized that really stood out that maybe gained that sort of attention?
Miriam Diallo is playing with a torn labrum in her hip. She played all season. The doctor said it couldn't get any worse. And she's on minute restrictions in practice, and what a warrior. She wanted to play. It was up to her. She's been in a tremendous amount of discomfort, and she's a little bit undersized out there, and she's a big reason we got here today from her efforts yesterday. And that kid's a winner. And she's just a sophomore, and so a lot of praise to her. But top to bottom, all the way down, our young players. Cameron was out forever with injuries, just little nicks and bruises, and then all of a sudden she's playing 23 minutes and 22 minutes in a semifinal and a finals, and held her own. And again, just all of them. Kendall Carruthers, since that ankle has kind of been a little gimpy, and she's tough as nails, so I know it's hurting her. I mean, we just beaten and bruised, but everybody. And really, John, our athletic trainer, shout out John, the real MVP. And again, our coaching staff just keeping everybody together and in good spirits, and picking me up if I ever did get sidetracked or distracted on some things that we can't control.
Thank you, Coach.
Anything else? Brian Blair, thanks for choosing me. Gonna miss you.